Welcome back to HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, and I'm joined by Grubby and Crowan for another amazing Best of 5 series. We actually had already our first one done from the day, and we're getting ready for Chili Mountain versus Oxygen Esports. We can also show you that bracket and kind of get you up to date as to, well, what's happened so far throughout the entirety of this ladder bracket. There's been a lot that's happened so far today, so let's get you this weekend, actually. So let's get you all caught up really quickly before we get into this next Best of 5 that determines who's going to the double elimination playoff bracket happening in a couple weeks. Diamond Hands and Granite Gaming started off our weekend yesterday, and that was a 3-1 for Granite. We had Wildheart versus Granite, 3-1 for Wildheart. We just saw Chili Mountain take a 3-0 against Wildheart, and now we're here, ready to go into the final map of our ladder bracket weekend, Oxygen Esports versus Chili Mountain. This is a really exciting matchup, and I'm super excited for Chili Mountain. Like, this run is looking pretty good for them, Crowan. Like, could they actually shut down Oxygen, or will Oxygen just be the crazy drafters that they are, like Make was saying?
Hey, Make said on a good day they can take down the best, and it's already looking like a good day for them. But as we see here, of course, they got to go up against Oxygen Esports, and Oxygen, very, very solid team. Solid record going into this kind of playoff stage. They got Red Robot to lead things out. Nasmus, of course, going to be a fantastic player. But really, I think I mentioned this week one of this season. Draded has big shoes to fill and has done, I think, a decent job of that so far in this season. I think a lot of pressure going to be on Draded to make these very impactful assassin or damage dealing plays. But the whole squad has certainly looked great.
It is a strong squad. Cascon's drafting is always exciting to see. Over on the opposing side of the battleground, Grubby, what are your thoughts, as we just saw them, on the Chili Mountain roster? Maybe who's kind of the big playmaker or decision? I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts for Chili Mountain, as they've just had such a great rise through HeroesCCL Season 2? Oh, you're muted in Discord.
I think Bergholt improved a lot, and that has been very noticeable because he was a bit of a weak link before in that he couldn't play Yarel as well as some of the other heroes. And I think Maka's shot calling and energy, I cannot understate enough, overstate, understate, middle state, how important that is to have someone that really whips the team into action, gets that energy. And I think, honestly, when you're winning like that 3-0, I think you bring an amazing amount of energy into the next series as well. The only thing is, of course, Oxygen has won all of their last matches. The losses that they have came earlier in the season, and they're actually riding a win streak themselves.
This win streak could be shut down by Chili Mountain, or vice versa. It's going to be a very, very good game. As I mentioned beforehand, this matchup determines who goes in to the playoff bracket, which is double elimination. This is do or die. Who goes home? Is it Oxygen? Is it Chili Mountain? We don't know yet, but what we do know is where we're going to head to for map number 1, and we can get you up to date on how all of that unfolded as well with decision making, as Chili Mountain opted for first pick priority, banning out Dragonshire, Oxygen banning out Battlefield of Eternity, Oxygen choosing to take us to Tomb of the Spider Queen for map number 1. This is a pretty good map for Oxygen Esports, as they're 2-1 on it. And Tomb of the Spider Queen, the members of Chili Mountain after that Wildheart series are now 2-2. So looking a little bit better on this Tomb map for both teams, or for the side of Chili Mountain. And it's exciting to just get into this game. We're starting out on Tomb once again. Will the members of Chili Mountain be able to play the really pressuring and aggressive comp that we just saw from them with the Mephisto, the Sylvanas, the Diablo? Or is this going to be Oxygen saying, hey, we watched that game, no play from you? Maybe they even steal it away. It's a possibility. Anything is possible here, Crowan, as we're ready to go into map number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yes, we are. Curious to see what the bans to start things off are. Is it going to be more of the, Blaze Denial? Is Hogger going to be back on the priority list for these bans? Not quite sure. I think Oxygen, as I believe Maka mentioned earlier, Oxygen has played a lot of different styles of play recently, so it's kind of hard to predict what they're going to do. So the prep work for them prep work from Chili Mountain into going against Oxygen is going to be a lot more general, and they're going to probably learn and adapt as the series goes forward. So this game number 1 is mainly going to be just feel things out, test the waters. I wouldn't be surprised if with that in mind, Chili Mountain drops a couple of maps, but then I think they're going to get a lot stronger as the games go on.
Good respective bans coming out from both sides. Hogger, Chromie, Stukov. This is looking... Teams have done their research, Grubby. We're... Oh, man. I'm a little surprised.
Me too.
Because Oxygen is like 6-1 with the Junkrat. They've played some hyper carry weekends with it. Like, I'm a little bit like, I know it's first pick over to Chili Mountain, but Chili Mountain was banning out the Junkrat in the last series, weren't they?
Yeah. I don't know whether they would use them, but like, okay, let's say you're a team, right? You think we're really good with Junkrat because Junkrat's really good. We think he's stronger than other people realize. We're afraid of him. If we can't get him, we ban him. I kind of get that, but I think some risk-taking is permitted, and I don't think Chili Mountain would have first picked. I don't think they have that prio, so it seems like a waste, but despite Oxygen picking Junkrat in like 4 games straight 2 weeks ago, and then like picking it when they could last week as well, they've also run other drafts on Tomb of the Spider Queen, either with Johanna or with Anubarak. They pick up Cassia. They may even pick up Greymane as well. They have these 2 assassins coming in together, which is cool because 1, Greymane destroys Anubarak. 2, Cassia destroys Greymane. So you're getting these tools, making sure that you just have insane DPS follow-up on a very strong engage. And Oxygen synergy in fights is really something to behold.
I do like the Greymane potential pickup. They've had success in the past with it on the side of Oxygen, much like Cassia as well. Though, Crowan, do you ban out the Sylvanas on the side of Oxygen or maybe even the Mephisto? Because this is the same draft from map number 1 against Wildheart.
Yeah, they know it's the same draft, so I think banning out the Sylvanas is very smart. It's going to deny the push potential as well as just good follow-up off of an engage with the Wailing Arrow. I do actually really like a Diablo Yrel in response to the Nubarak Cassia, because of course the Nubarak Cocoon coming out, and even if he cocoons Diablo, Yrel is great displacement to be able to buy time to break Diablo out and then be able to return to the fight on that sense. It's not like everything is going to fall apart and there's going to be absolute chaos as soon as that cocoon from Red Robot does come out. But now, D.Va and Tychus, the Malthael was banned, so they can't have multiple Diablo counters, but at least they get one with the Tychus. But I don't know, I think a Cassia Tychus dual backline on Tomb, it's like okay wave clear, but I don't know, it's a little bit iffy, I think.
Looking a little... The word static comes to mind for some reason when I look at the Oxygen draft. It kind of looks like it moves in one particular way. There's no really dynamic nature that comes out from it. It's like Anubarak's going to burrow charge in, Cassie's going to follow in, D.Va's going to boost in, Tychus is going to deal damage. So now you throw in some chaos into all of this. You get a Falstad and a Hanzo. You got a big AoE stun. I'm really liking what Chili Mountain's put together here. Though, I got to get Grubby's thoughts on this last pick from the side of Oxygen.
There's a great engage pattern for Chili Mountain, Arrow into Apocalypse. How do you stop it? Lucio is the answer by Oxygen. Now, Lucio needs to maintain a central position to make his buffs work, and he may even go into Sound Barrier here and have a very bursty fight together with that. Be damned whoever gets CC'd, but it might be high 5. Stop the Polymer, stop the Shadow Charge, stop the Gust or the Arrow, as long as he doesn't get caught by any of those. Oxygen will have a very tough draft to perform, I think. We have a very easy to play draft from Chili Mountain. Just hit the arrow, just press APOC, and start deleting people. Anubarak is a squishy frontliner leading into this. I think Chili looking a little stronger on the draft here, but you can never count out the other side, which looks good too. What do you think, Crone?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think I would give this draft advantage over the Chili Mountain. This is something that they are comfortable with. Looking at earlier's game, they don't have the Mephisto Sylvanas, but they have Hanzo and Falstad, which I think slot in very, very well into this as well. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Lucio Sound Barrier just because of the disengage that can be brought out from, say, a Falstad and Yrel. But I do think that Lucio is a solid pick here. But once again, I think Chili Mountain has the advantage. As long as they don't get super behind in the early game, as long as they're at least even, scaling up into the late, they're going to, I think, be able to have the advantage and take this game number 1.
Well, thank you, Crowan, for the breakdown analysis and your thoughts as well as we get into this Tomb of the Spider Queen game, map number 1 in our second best of 5 of the day. We got Oxygen in the blue, Mater on the Cassia, Nasmus on the D.Va, Heavy on the Lucio, Draded on the Tychus, and Red Robot on the Anubarak. Over in the red, we got Chili Mountain. We've got Make on the Falstad, Azarite on the Hanzo, Cattle on Diablo, Banana on Brightwing, and Burgult on the Urel. I have leaned into a Tomb win, a Chili Mountain win for myself.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think Tomb of Spider Queen is going to be won by a team. That's my prediction for all of you at home. But no, I think this is going to be a very good game. A lot of back and forth between both sides. The drafts are strong for both these teams. I do like the Lucio last pick from the side of Oxygen. I think that's a sound barrier, even high five. Both of them are great heroics. We'll have to see. Maybe it'll be a decision from Heavy during the game based on how the aggression's going from Chili Mountain. Or maybe Oxygen's ahead and they just want to run around high-fiving people and then mixing fire at level 20. But, Grubby, let's get your thoughts on how all this might unfold.
Yeah, I think Chili Mountain has a clear pattern of engage. It's not too hard for Oxygen either. You hit a burrow charge on someone that isn't Diablo, and you try to blow them up. In fact, with Tychus, you can take on anyone, truly. Yeah, I think both teams have completely got the tools. I'm not going to call it too much either way. I think Chili's small, little better draft, but it is 100% down to execution this game for our first map of the final round of the gauntlet. The victor enters the top 4 final placements, and we'll be playing most likely against Simplicity, right? As Caterpillar goes down, you know, that's his first death here. He barely died that much in the other games. Like with May, I'm not sure if he died at all. He had a 1-death Diablo game before. It shows the difference. Is there a Tychus or isn't there? And also the mobility that Lucio brings in together with the lockdown of a Nubarak.
It's nothing crazy just looking at some of the talents. With charge strikes at level 1 from Cassia, I would say, every time almost, not even 9 times out of 10, just almost every game, it is just that Thunderstroke scaling off of the Lightning Fury. But now charge strikes, gain 15% attack speed, every 3rd basic attack deals 15 bonus damage and bounces to nearby heroes. So team fight, gonna be looking pretty good with those charge strikes from Mater on the Cassia. I'm excited about this one. I always like to watch Mater as Cassia. Traded on the Tychus has been good in previous weekends, as there's a Diva Mech Explosion dunked into mid lane. This pushes back the minion wave, also pushes back Chili Mountain, so a little more siege can be had from Oxygen members, and it's a good play so far. A little bit of pre-siege, a little bit of pressure, I guess you could say, through this mid lane in favor of Oxygen. But now, Cattle and crew, do they try and force this mid lane? No, it's a rotation to bottom lane to try and make a play into Heavy.
Yeah, Heavy positioned very well. He sells the idea that he might be shadow charged into a wall. He already felt the Diablo coming, and he dodged just fine. I think the big story here is the fact that Madara, one of the biggest quest aficionados, has decided not to go with the quest at level 1 for Cassia. We all know that this hurts him deep in his soul, and that just shows the dedication that he has, where he puts his team above everyone else, above his own petty desires for questing. A difficult decision, and one that will most likely prove fateful, as he probably thinks, and his team, that this is the talent to pick here.
Do you think they had to sit Madara down as a team and like Cavalier like broke the news to him? Like, look, this game you're gonna have to not go dings at level 1. You're gonna have to just go charge strikes, as the fight will break out in this corridor. Cattle gets the phase shift from Brightwing, traded at 50% HP. Burgle trying to find a Righteous Hammer, does knock back a few enemy members. Red Robot with a huge impale. Make comes in with a flight, but that flight is a little awkward right around the enemy team. He gets chunked quite heavily, and no one goes down. It's 1-0 in kills overall on this map, as there was an Oxygen kill into Diablo earlier. But now, it's good back and forth, and I like the team fight control from both sides. Banana healing, Burgle control with the Righteous Hammer, but also Heavy speeding around, switching between speed and healing to maneuver friends around that engagement. Good play from both sides.
Interested at the Lucio level 7. We've been seeing at all level 7s actually less and less reverse amp, as it kind of puts Lucio too much into an aggressive mind state where he tries to get slows and damage on the opponent. We've been seeing more good vibrations where he gives himself a shield. This time it's gonna be the boombox. Absolutely the right choice, I believe, for Tomb of the Spider Queen. 5 armor is whatever, but the spread healing and as well as the armor. As well as the vision, I mean, is really nice. Traded narrowly survives. 125 health. Cattle pays dearly for the engage.
Or does Madara.
Kill. This time it's Madara going down.
Azurite actually almost got the snipe with the Stormbow into Draded, it was just like 1 or 2 pixels away. I think I just saw like this little like Stormbow animation come right behind Draded as he was getting behind the gate. But this is potential turn in from Chili Mountain. Not potential, it is turn in. So first Web Weavers will descend in favor for the side.
No, you said it right.
No, okay, all right. I don't want to get flamed too hard by chat. I don't want them to judge me too much.
Web Weavers, wait for the weeps. As the weeps are coming out. Yeah, here they go for a Nubarak. He bro charges away. Maka made a decision not to barrel roll after him and try to chunk the Nubarak. A risky play that maybe his last one in this current life. D.Va comes in. How many move arounds are there for D.Va? There's Mighty Gust and Yarel's Bash, as well as Overpower, Shadow Charge. Plenty of tools. They decided not to use any. D.Va Mech ended up clearing much of mid. As Chili Mountain rotates top to get more value in the boss lane.
This is a very big lane to prioritize, as Grubby was mentioning, due to the fact that boss plus Webweaver late game is often a win condition for teams. Cattle just putting pressure onto Red Robot. Burgled playing in the back line a little bit here, and I think that's also to make sure that there's no flank or any sort of dive from D.Va or Cassia into the back line. So I do like how Burgled is rotating around, but the fight still... Oh wait, Valkyrie does catch Hanzo. There's the dive in from Red Robot. Hanzo gets a... Oh my god, shut up, Banana!
Stop it, Banana! You cut that out right now. Oh my god, the phase shift, the cleanse, and the turnaround. Azerite lives and gets the arrow there. Can they get a return kill? Nazma is isolated away. He actually gets some pretty good micro missiles into Make. Nobody dies, just a mech. There's half a kill for all of their efforts. But what a godly save by Banana H on Azerite. What a great go fishing as well by Madara, getting that Valkyrie to engage on Hanzo, the most priority target of all.
Diablo Cattle just jumping onto Madara really quick to put a little damage onto them. And Hanzo did go into target practice at level 1, 3 out of 5 stacks. I'm curious, Grubby, is he anywhere close to finishing those out by chance? As we
Needs 1 shot on Lucio, 2 on Tychus.
Okay, thank you. And then Tychus, actually, speaking of him, is going to be in the rhythm at level 1, or, oh my god, level 4, as this is only 13 stacks on that level 4 talent. But going into Diablo and Yrel, we've talked about this in previous broadcasts, it's difficult, because Diablo can cycle up for Yrel, Diablo gets healed up by Banana, Diablo steps back in, the bigger they are, which is usually what you pick at level 4, doesn't get as much value. So I guess having the duration increase is going to be the benefit here, just to be able to keep shredding into Yrel and Diablo.
Cattle tries to get the fire stomp. No, actually it's Azerite that gets the interrupt. Cattle found a different target. D.Va Mech though in a very interesting position. Diablo takes it full to the face. Did have a spell shield for 75. That helped a lot. It looks like that creates enough space for Oxygen to get the turn in. Nazmas is paying 37 plus 16, more than enough. And the turn in goes to Oxygen.
I thought you were asking me for a second. I was like, oh, Grubby, please don't give me math on broadcast. You know I can't do that.
That's monstrous. That's reserved for the worst enemies.
Yes, exactly. You only ask your worst enemies to do math on stream. Camp in the mid lane will be grabbed by Chili Mountain, which will offer a little bit of a buffer to be able to clear out and, well, not clear out, but also defend mid lane from the Webweaver putting damage onto structure. Top lane spawning a little far back. I think Falstad, yeah, he flies into bottom lane. Burgle gets chunked a little bit by Nazmus. Might have to back off for a second, regain some of that HP, but I think things might be managed fairly fine by the side of Chili Mountain, though Draded does drop this Commandeer Odin looking to siege in just beyond the fort front gate.
He can get more safe damage in. His range goes from, what, 4.5 to 9.
Yep.
So he gets more auto attacks in more safely. They're starting to wail away on that fort. Mid was actually mitigated by the Bruiser camp, which is even now pushing out mid lane in favor of Chili Mountain. Another Valkyrie on Hanzo. There's the cleanse from Heavy. He saves Azerite once again. Azerite still has the arrow. He's getting hit by the beetle, which means he's revealed. It would make arrow actually more transparent. Maybe that's part of the reason why he didn't let loose. Where is the arrow? Is he going to do it? No. Chili Mountain relaxes. They're like, hey, cool. This was a pretty good defense. Let's just check our health and mana pool, see if we're really ready to continue. As for Oxygen, limited value from their objective. Not too bad. They got some damage into top fort with that second phase.
Both teams have availability of turn-in. That was the second web weaver of the game. Who will get the third one? Well, turn-in sitting good for both sides. Actually, you want to look at this really quickly. Who's got the vast majority of the gems? Falstead with 35, and on the opposing side, Draded 33 on the Taika. Says Cattle gets the phase shift from Brightwing. Oh my god, I didn't think that would connect, but can Cattle get out of this? He's very low. Souls will be reset. Hanzo arrow a little bit late, in my opinion, as Make tries to dump some damage into the opposing side. Burrow charge away from the Nubrak. Huge Valkyrie is going to be able to pull in the Brightwing. She goes down. Burgle pops the Ardent Defender, gets a little bit of healing. Gust from Make saves the Urel.
And that saves a lot of gems. Kato comes back. His souls have been reset and he comes back to life and he's here, but he needs his souls back for survivability via both the bonus health and the spell shield. Overall, Chili Mountain limits losses for the most part, whereas Oxygen does have the ability to both start this bruiser camp as well as get the turn in. So a very good result for them. Another just spectacular Valkyrie. Madara's really been hitting them at the right time and pairing them together up with the Diva Mech Explosion. Meanwhile, Heavy on Lucio. He's been... it's the first Lucio we see today. We haven't been seeing him all that much. Looks like he's not the near uncontested top healer anymore. Many different options now. Brightwing priority with Diablo is good, of course. Some bonus health that you can give to such a chunky tank. So far, though, Oxygen started to carve out a good lead here against a team that just went 3-0.
Might be. Oh, that's a really good gust. Burgle tries to jump away, but the sustained damage is there. Phase shift from Brightwing's gonna be late, and it's not possible. Make steps in, has 89 gems, gets hit with the cocoon. Cattle can't stay here. Huge arrow from Hanzo. What happens to Make out of this out of this cocoon? He's gonna be CC'd to Oblivion, but it's not enough. It's CC'd just shy of Oblivion.
Cattle, massive heals from Firestorm. You could literally see his health pool go up by 20, 30, 40% of his max health. Make survives. This is a 5-man attempt on a cocooned bird, and they cannot cook him. As Heavy comes through, didn't get the phase shift there on Urel, but he pulls through there for Falstad. 6 saves again by Heavy. That critical missed, of course, great value as well. Damn, that's some good defense by Chile, but I think they're feeling the heat.
I would expect that from Oxygen. I also do want to point out, I mean, Make on Falstad, what is he, like 8 gems away from getting the gem mount? If you get 100, you get that gem mount in the game, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Well, that would actually be sick. I believe you get reported if you have 100 gems in Storm League.
Yeah, I think that's actually what you get. I think that's exactly what you get. You don't get a gem mount. That's a joke, everybody. You get a report in Storm League. But I think this is going to be turning, through Madara. He's got the last few gems necessary.
Heavy.
Oh, no, Heavy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Caster math kicked in. My bad.
Well, 11 plus 4 is 15. They get it exactly. Another turn in by Oxygen. Now, you would normally imagine top, most important. You've also got Siege Cam pushing bot. So you would imagine Oxygen goes top. Do we want to jump into their comps to see how they coordinate this?
Grubby, you read my mind. Into Oxygen we go.
They're mid right now.
Alright, let's go.
Oh, look, Diablo?
I'm far. I have Valk again. If you get him, then I hit it.
I'm gonna pressure the false side if he stays.
Okay.
Probably.
I'm looking for Valk. If Hanzo doesn't hide behind the thing.
Okay, false side's mid for sure.
False side's mid?
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, we see him. Just watch
Good,
his Z.
Mega pressure. We transition bot after.
Take out all of the walls so I get a better Valk.
Polymorph. I have stun. You can maybe look for Valk soon. I can look Falstad.
As soon as Autumn finish.
Yeah, I don't want to look past the Diablo right now. I want to just hit Diablo for free.
Okay.
Let's go bot.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Draded slow. I think we're
Falstad
good,
top right now.
Yeah,
Falstad
fine.
does have Z though.
Break the wall again for Madara.
Yeah.
Breaking sidewall.
I have bomb.
Stunning Urel?
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh, good try. Hit Cattle, hit Cattle. He can die here,
I'm taking it. Oh, I cocooned.
I'm pulling him back in, I'm pulling him back in.
Go for it. Yeah.
Everything on Cattle still his. Oh, wait, he's
too
still
far.
got 75,
Come back.
Nice
Done.
Oh, arrow's huge.
I'm dead.
See if we can run it, I guess.
Every man for themselves. Just try and live.
Nice, I'm out. Oh, Heavy's gone, sniped. Nice slow.
won't be out, I won't be
Go
out.
for dismounts. Ooh.
I'm just baiting them away from you guys.
Okay.
You might be able to kill them, yeah. Go for Azraid as well. Okay, just run.
Yeah, I run.
We're maybe getting top keep here with the pressure.
I'm out,
If they don't
I'm
clear
out.
in time.
5-man arrows,
I'm not
very
out,
scary.
but I got
Yeah.
out.
The arrow.
And a very aggressive objective phase from the side of Oxygen, but maybe a little too aggressively played, Grubby?
Well, I mean, the 5-man arrow, right? Like they zone. Cattle did his job perfectly. He presented a. At first, they were talking about let's Valkyrie the fast start, maybe, right?
Yep.
Then people are like, okay, I want to stun Diablo, I want to free hit Diablo a bit. Cattle presented a very attractive target by seeming isolated, but he had the soul shield available. They became aware of it. I was like, oh no, never.
75,
I'm gonna
yeah.
Valkyrie him back in. Oh wait, he has 75 physical armor. Sorry, spell armor, and then the lightning breath.
Yep.
He is unstoppable. He's in a good enough spot, and you don't want to stand in that damage. It's not the most damage in the world, but he's still unstoppable and dealing damage to you. Heavy there to heal him as well. And in the thick of things, you just forget about that arrow for a second, and it's enormous. Azurite hits the arrow, and yeah, Chili Mountain does the defense there. Love to hear the every man run for himself.
Yep, yeah.
Just see if we can save anyone at all. With a pretty sick save as well by Draded to get a kill, nearly 2 by the way, in that disengage.
I'll have to try that in my own games when I'm playing with my friends. Just, you know, when we start losing, just be like, every man for yourself, and just leave my friends behind.
Run for your miserable lives!
Usually it's me who's like, okay, I misplayed, let me die, just run, I'll run the opposite way, I'll kite them, and you guys have enough time to get away, we'll mitigate losses. But Boss is going to be played off of this, and they have turn-in right afterwards, but they're slowing.
Don't kill the spider, Draded.
Exactly.
Don't kill the spider.
And I think that's exactly what's happening. I'm watching the minimap, and I think that's exactly the case. Draded playing that a little slow in the bottom lane.
Oh, that's the puppet master play where you pull the strings of the enemy team. They knew exactly what's going on. Big tip there for everyone. Don't kill the spider too quickly. Kill everything else. That earns them level 20. Oxygen, actual 5-heading. Chili Mountain was forced off the boss point. And we have a 20 versus 20. With Oxygen back in the lead.
Dive back onto Nasmus from Cattle. I'm looking at this Diva mech, which is going to be able to get her mecha explosion. Almost has it, but Nasmus almost loses the mech in this process. Turn availability is mostly being zoned by Oxygen. That's the reason we're kind of seeing him in this pivot point through the mid lane. Bottom lane needs to be pushed out, but Oxygen needs to stay in the pivot point through mid so they can get to top or bottom turn-in and shut that down. Chili Mountain, Webweavers will spawn into the 50% point on the map, or the middle if you will. But still, that's Webweaver siege potential. Diablo gets the bop onto Red Robot. Burgled, yeah. I've seen that interaction every so often. I feel like it's sometimes when terrain just pushes weird. Arrow, Hans. Oh, Detours.
As Yrel gets cocooned, there's a big Mighty Gust, half into the wall. Usually Mighty Gust at level 20 becomes an engage tool, not disengage. So it's a win when you get it as a disengage. Still though, Chili Mountain salvages that really well. They get the follow-up. They get the kill on Lucio, who will be gone for 60 seconds there. Great kill by Chili. Of course, a very great combination actually with Falstaff and Hanzo. You push them into a wall, which allows Hanzo to get full scatter piercing arrow value. Real nice synergy. Oxygen, they're going to contest 4v5. They don't want to give the boss.
It is going to be leashed, which means it will disappear. Red Robot's going to take a lot of damage. Is he going to be able to burrow charge away? He is taking so much. Falstad barrel rolls in, trying to chase onto Red Robot. The shielding is fairly good from his exoskeleton or hardened
armor.
No, just the entire build of it all being the hardened carapace build, like that, just giving armor, speed, just so much helped Red Robot get out of there. If this was the
and Trader King
and Trader King value, if this was the Beetle Boy build, I don't think he would be burrow charging out of that engagement, even with Trader King.
If he had rewind, he'd be dead as well. All his talents were key there. That's a 4v5. Push them off the bots. Extremely effective move by Oxygen. High risk, but high reward. They did it very, very well. And Chili Mountain forced off the boss point once again. There's a big combo into a Nubrak. He gets cocooned. Still has that 60 spell armor and the Trader King bonus health. That puts a Nubrak at a lot of health. That's an arrow dodged again. Great job by Oxygen. As Azurite has been kind of just trying to get the strike, but these aren't bowling pins. These are thinking human players that are controlling Heroes of the Storm characters. And they're not going to stay there in nice formation when the arrow is a little bit too transparent. These aren't missing arrows from a flank. They're fishing arrows, and there's a little bit too much transparency. Oxygen moves quickly out of them. Doesn't want a repeat of what happened under the bottom keep of Chili Mountain. Great defense by Oxygen, keeps not even hurt. Oxygen now stepping up because they don't want to allow a second turn in.
You said it perfectly. The waves are pushed in, but the fight will break out. There's going to be a gust with the wind tunnel from the Falstad. That's going to save Cattle. Phase shift from Brightwing to bolster his health. And everything's a-okay. A little bit of blink heal with Invisible Friends. There's going to be a lot of damage onto Red Robot. That was a big shutdown from Falstad and crew. Diva Mech Explosion coming out, and Asmus does get the amplified charge speed from the level 4. Diablo, Hellgate over the wall, Lightning Breath slows Cassia, she goes down. Make running in here, Hanzo Arrow up and available right now, but this is the thing that we were just talking about. Turn in, but also Boss. This is big.
Great job. Yeah, great job there by Burgold, zoning that bush, getting that Righteous Hammer, minus 20 armor there twice, basically, with 7% max health damage as well. Gotta be a little bit critical of Red Robot here. You go through the bush, things are hectic, you're trying to prevent those 105 gems from being paid, and you survive. And then you walk into the same bush without checking it? That's a big mistake. That's unforgivable. I mean, it is forgivable. It's just
unforgivable.
But, I mean, in terms of game mistakes, you don't walk into that bush again. Burkhold was still there, and this time he did die. A big blunder, and I think it's going to cost Oxygen the game. Of course, it's not just up to him face checking the bush. Other people have to cast spells there as well. But still, that was not prevented. Chili Mountain now pushing for the win. They've got Web Weavers and the boss on the core. Generally, you win that. Arrow does miss again. There's a Valkyrie, but it's on Diablo, not the prime target. Core shield is going away. They're going for the victory here. Chili Mountain, they were looking rough earlier on, but some big arrows, some big Urel moves as well. They want the core, pull back a bit and re-engage. I think this is on lockdown. I think this is a first map win for Chili Mountain.
Oh, Chili Mountain might be trying to speedrun today as Make gets the short distance flight over the core, and that is GG's over to the members of Chili Mountain, freezing out Oxygen in game number 1. And you made a point, Grubby, which it actually, it sparked a thought really quickly for me, is that Chili Mountain looked a little rough in the start, but got better and better as the game went on, and that feels the same way from the Wildheart matchup. Like, it feels like as Chili Mountain played those matches, the start looked a little shaky against Wildheart, but then at 10s, 13, definitely 16, Chili Mountain was just on point, on fire, and really bringing the fight to the enemy team. I want to get Crowin back in here. Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I insane? Should I get the tinfoil?
I don't know. All I do know is Chili Mountain's turning up today. Like, who is this team? They're actually playing so well. The early games, as we're mentioning, still isn't the most amazing. Cattle kind of died for free in the early game. There was a couple other scuffles that they were not quite on the same page. But for the majority of the most impactful moments of the game, these decisive team fights, every single member of Chili Mountain is playing these fights so well. Like, there's actually not a single member that is misplaying, and it's kind of hard to say that about most teams in fights. It was absolutely beautiful from Azerite as well. That 5-man arrow really set up Chili Mountain's pacing in this game. And sure, there was a couple missed arrows after that, but they were just fishing arrows, as you both mentioned. They weren't really, it's like, if it hits, sure, great, we get a big value out of it, but if not, it is okay, not the end of the world. As soon as Oxygen ever tried to step up to do something, whether it be a Cassia Valkyrie to engage or Red Robot going in, either they punish Red Robot, which, yes, that face check was absolutely illegal, you cannot do that, Red Robot, that was actually insane. But then they have the Falstad to be able to gust and reset the fights. They did a great job out of pulling back after initial engage and then re-engaging afterwards and finding these opportunities in these windows where Oxygen were just not able to win any fight at that point. So just Chili Mountain's playing on an absolute another level today. Really impressed by them thus far.
I was super impressed by how they controlled that bottom lane. The arrow, as you noted, I actually pointed out, or I wrote it down in my notebook as I see Grubby pointing over here, and I wanted to also bring this up. We have hit that $15,000. Thank you to everyone in Twitch chat as well as to Texas CPA for putting on this challenge to the community and the chat. We really do appreciate hitting $15,000 for HeroesCCL prize pool. And I keep saying this, and this is a big factor. I might actually cry after this, but this is the most we've raised before we even got into the double elimination. We still have another couple weekends of play days. Not next weekend, not the following, because we're getting a little bit of break for some 4th of July, some Masterclass stuff. But thank you, seriously, everyone, for supporting HeroesCCL. It really does mean a lot to us, and I'm sure production's cheering in the background. If they could be on comms, they would say the exact same thing. So thank you. Yeah, actually, I got them in my headphones cheering right now. So thank you, everyone at home, for donating to the prize pool, even just checking out the prize pool with exclamation point prize pool. We really, really do appreciate it. It's super exciting, and I can't stop saying it because I'm blown away. Like I'm so elated to see this. But let's actually reel it back. Yes, Grubby's gift that he just posted in the admin chat. Let's reel it back into our series here. And I haven't heard it from the admin chat just yet, but we might have map number 2 ready to go here in just a second. No, I'm sorry. I'm excited, but it was a really good game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen from the side of Chili Mountain. And I also want to get Grubby's thoughts here. Is this a Chili Mountain 3-0 potential brewing, or do you think Oxygen, they've got way more in their arsenal to shut down Chili Mountain in map number 2?
Well, I think Oxygen gets the map choice and first pick choice. I think you give away map choice so that you can get your first hero here. I think the earlier on in the series that you lose, when you still have multiple maps to work with, the more you want to give away the map, just so that, I mean, there's still a lot of different maps. You're not going to win this just by taking all your favorite maps. You got to play on some of the maps you may not like. I think you want that first pick. Maybe you can get that early Blaze or the early Junkrat so that you can play that style that you want to play. But honestly, Oxygen overall, they did quite fine. There were not a lot of huge mistakes. Just remembering that last one, the one that actually lost them the game. Because at the end of the day, Oxygen was leading in keep structural integrity. They had fewer gems. They were totally fine. There was nothing that said that even if they give away the next turn in, they're going to lose the game. And I hate to harp on it because many micro mistakes lead to a given situation, but the final one that ends the game, and it's about how preventable is it, and it was preventable. So that's a pity. And that's a mistake that Caterpillar has not made. His Diablo has looked imperturbable almost. And with the protection of Banana Age, many lives were saved. Hanzo was in a compromised position twice, but he didn't have a death count to his name because of the Banana Age Brightwing that they so heavily prioritized Chili Mountain early on in the draft. It enables sick macro plays, late arrivals, clutch heals, as well as enabling Caterpillar's Diablo. This is, it's going to be down to what the next map will be, but maybe there will be a very high Brightwing priority indeed.
Well, you had mentioned favorite maps, and this is going to be the map choice of Chili Mountain. As the members of Oxygen, the losing side, you mentioned, can either choose map or first pick. Oxygen opting for first pick. And so Chili Mountain says, hey, we beat Wildheart on Sky Temple. It's our best map in our repertoire. Let's go ahead and take it to a game number 5 on Sky Temple. Let's see if the members of Chili Mountain can have a 5-0 victory on this map, or will this be Oxygen shutting down the members of Chili Mountain on Sky Temple? For anyone wondering, the Oxygen roster has a 1-2 record on Sky Temple, 1 win, 2 losses. So a lot of innovation, but you mentioned the Brightwing, Grubby, and I love that for Sky Temple. The maneuverability from Banana on it is really good, but even then, like, I think Banana can play anything. What was it like? Wasn't it last week where Banana had like one of the best cleanses on Uther on Towers of Doom? If I'm remembering correct.
I remember he did the PST support play of the week was a cleanse into a D shield to save someone on Sky Temple, I believe it was as well. A little bit to the left of the mid temple. That was good stuff. He does play a lot of Uther. We haven't seen that yet. I think Uther's a fantastic healer, even as a solo healer. None of that Uther main tank stuff anymore. It lacks engage, and he doesn't have as much self armor as he used to, but Uther heal. And let's see. Oxygen is gonna have the first ban, first pick. Will we see more Junkrat coming out? Or will they prioritize either the healer or the solo lane?
Yes.
Caro deserved the respect ban, finally.
Yeah, and it comes through right now in just game number 1, as opposed to the earlier series. It was, I believe, kind of not banned away, but denied in draft during game number 3. This time Auction is respecting that and recognizing it super early on. But Sky Temple is the map earlier where I believe Cattle did play the Mei. They had a Sylvanas, Cassia, Stukov, Diva, Mei draft. So I would be kind of expecting them to lean into a similar direction here, given that the Diablo is already banned. Chili Mountain, I think the Junkrat ban goes to their side now. Denying it from auction is really good. Red Robot back on the Anubarak. This is a very, very high Anubarak priority. And I think it's very telling of Red Robot's kind of unwillingness to play anything else. And maybe they've only practiced, or at least majority of practice, compositions featuring the Anubarak.
I can just imagine them like tearing up all their papers as soon as Anubarak gets banned. Like, no more playbook. Let's just pick literally anything.
Feels like it.
Well, I mean, they have had a lot of success. They found a lot of success on the side of Oxygen Esports with Anubarak. Going into this matchup, they are 5-1 on the Heroes. So not only is it strong for their playstyle on the side of Oxygen, I think it's also a comfort for Red Robot and what they're probably very synergized with the Burrow Charge, the Cocoon to lock someone down. But here we go. Azurite with a Cassia, Banana with a Brightwing. I like the kickoff from Chili Mountain a ton here, Grubby.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Madara. All right. So, HeroesHearth, myself, we've been checking out Madara's stream as well. And he's been getting some hosts here. And we have seen him play Orphea. He's been practicing it a lot. He's a big fan of it. And he said we should listen in on their comms when he's playing Orphea, and I think we'll definitely do that. Bahamut will jump in, right?
It's a bait. It's a bait.
Listen to that.
It's just a bait. We're only listening to Chili Mountain comms this entire game. Sorry, Madara. That's it.
The reason is because every time they're in a team fight, he says, I got this, I'm gonna kill them. He's like 1% life, I'm gonna sustain, So we'll see that. But this is a very high early Orphea priority when you don't know if it works at all yet. Like normally she's supposed to abuse tanks like Blaze and Stitches, a big easy to hit target to get her resets. That's not what we're seeing here. What do you think, Crowan?
I think that it is a solid option, with keeping in mind the fact that Auction is denying the whole front line that Chili Mountain is used to playing, at least in this last game and then a lot of the last series between the Diablo and the Urel. If they're able to take those disruptions and strong front lines off the table, I think Orphea has a lot of room to succeed, as well as just being able to follow up off of Anubarak and Stukov. Stukov, fantastic pick for Heavy. Interesting that Banana Hand's going to prioritize the Brightwing over the Stukov. I mean, I think Stukov is definitely a fantastic hero choice for Banana Hands, but as we saw, I think, a lot in the last game, Brightwing, super solid. Now Mei is going to be the default for Cattle after Diablo is banned. That's kind of to be expected. And because the Rel ban, Diva for Burgle, but now Dahaka and Abathur for Oxygen. This is very much so just a Madara. Take it away. Just, you need to be the hyper carry here with Abahads. Dahaka playing the map, being able to get that macro advantage. They're going to look to get an XP lead and then just be able to absolutely bully Chili Mountain throughout. Yeah, Sylvanas is still up.
Maybe Mephisto? Okay.
Yeah.
Why the Sylvanas, Grubby? I actually want to... Why did you know?
Usually against Abathur, you want to apply serious heavy pressure, shutting down buildings. Buildings are very strong in the early game against heroes, but they get weaker and weaker. Against Abba, you want to get early game value. And the only way to do that is with Sergeant Hammer or Sylvanas or a Nubarak. Or Slushball May, but for some reason no one is playing Slushball. But anyway, these are some of the ways to get early value, because late game, that team there on the left is gonna pop. Like if we get to 3-keep level 20, Oxygen wins. So you want early game, just speed run to victory, and Sylvanas is required for that. Having said that, Orphea, she's gonna be the big X factor. Crowan, do you think Orphea is good enough into this team to get the W here?
Oh man, maybe on another day I would say otherwise, but Chili Mountain have just been looking so good today that I don't think they're going to allow it to be enough. I think that with the Sylvanas pick, as you were predicting, this is exactly what Chili Mountain needs to come out of this game, winning in a structural advantage and propel that for the game win itself. So I'm going to give the advantage over the Chili Mountain. I want to be proved wrong almost. I want to see the Orphea pop off, but I just don't think it will be enough.
Thank you, Crowan, for your insight and your analysis, as well as the prediction from you. Let's go ahead and get on into Oxygen on the left-hand side for Sky Temple, Nasmus on the Dahaka, Madara on the Orphea. We have Red Robot playing the Anubarak, Heavy on the Stukov, and Draded on the Abathur. Over on the red, we got Chili Mountain. We've got Banana on the Brightwing, Azure on the Cassia, Cattle on the Mei, Make on the Sylvanas, and Burgolt on the Diva. I lean into Chili Mountain as well. I think they've got a lot of momentum here. I like the Sylvanas a lot. I think that they're weirdly enough, I think Chili Mountain is on fire today, but it looks like a really comfortable draft for Chili Mountain. We've seen almost everyone on these heroes before: Cattle on Mei, Make on Sylvanas, Azurite on Cassie, etc. It looks comfortable. It's a comfort map. The only X factor is the Abathur for me, with Mule to heal up some of the structures, and you know, because you want to deal that permanent damage, but then you have Make coming in as well. So there's so many shuffling parts, Grubby. I lean into Chili Mountain here. Any other thoughts from you as you've had some time to ponder and you've seen kind of the beginning of map number 2?
Yeah, I think it totally comes down to whether Orphea hits literally everything. The thing is, though, even though the heavy CC of Yrel and Diablo are missing, which makes Orphea have difficulty living on the front line, she is also kind of vulnerable into blinds. And there are double blinds here. There's also the polymorph. There is no cleanse for Oxygen. So there's a really big period of time where Orphea cannot get her overflowing chaos healing, auto attack, her bonus damage. When you do a spell, like, okay, Orphea, you hit a spell on a hero, you get stacks of chaos. Up to 3. The more you have, the more empowered is your singular next auto attack. But when you auto attack and you're blinded, you lose all the chaos, you get none of the bonus damage, none of the bonus healing, and you gotta work from scratch again. There is no cleanse for any of the CC that Chili Mountain has, and it's almost all up to Orphea, but not necessarily. Dahaka, with this level 1 build, can also do great things with Abathur. And what Nazmas and friends really need here is divide and conquer. Abathur does a good job of that. So Dahaka defending bot, got this big bruiser camp push top. I think Oxygen has a non-traditional draft, but definitely not impossible. But Chili Mountain most likely favored.
I would agree with you that Chili Mountain's favored in this. Diva Mecha Explosion for top lane to clear out the wave, zone back the side of Oxygen. Diva also, pilot form DPS is very, very strong. And for anyone who's looking for a little more stat on the Orphea auto attack, she deals 50% more damage per chaos stack and heals for 100% of that damage. So you're able to get 3 stacks, that's 150% increase on that auto, and you're healing for that 150 increase. Nice damage, nice healing. But as you mentioned, if you're blind, that auto is just, it's thrown to the void of Heroes of the Storm. But first objective phase is here. A little bit of pre-pressure through top lane onto both sides. Madara chasing under Burgle, but he's got a boost to get out of there. A-OK on the Diva. Meanwhile, mid, Chili Mountain goes for the channel. Oh my god. So it was a little thing, but Banana read the tongue drag so well, got the polymorph just as the animation was about to begin. Because you could see Dahaka starting to do that reel back to do the tongue drag. Very cool.
He bit his tongue right there. Brighting's like, shut up. Don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, I know.
Yes!
Well played, Nazmus.
Great play, Nazmus. He gets the drag tongue. He's like, wait a second. As he did the monster math, numbers flying around, hands to his temple. If I just stay right here and I rotate 180 degrees, I'm gonna do a 1-2-1 combo with the boss. And it's the final stab of Traded's Abathur that finishes the kill there. And that's actually first blood. Very cool move. Love it. As Oxygen does lose a number of the laser shots, despite having that victory moment mid. They lose the final lasers mid. Now, is there a mule on the field? Yes, there is. It got huge top. Okay. When is the next mule available? Okay.
Red Robot, a lot of damage. That's going to be Brightwing going down. Banana.
Sorry, I didn't see that. I was looking at mules.
You're okay. I get you. Because it's...
Was that an opportunity usage or kind of a mistake?
I think it was a little bit of a positional mistake. I just don't. I think Brightwing was a little too far forward in the lane. There was initial damage onto Make, who was throwing a Haunting Wave backwards, got dropped to 50%, and I think the Haunting Wave was a little bit of the read from Anubarak to then be like, that's my target location, because Brightwing might be around there to get a little bit of that soothing mist healing, because Brightwing has to, like Lucio, keep people within a circle.
Got it. Well, that's good news for Oxygen. They just got their second kill. This is a backbiter Orphea as well that has 15% bonus health. Get some nice shots. If Orphea hits her jump, then she must teleport backwards. Madara spoke of a cool combo where when you chomp a hero, you get pushed back. You may hit your Q as well, but you don't press movement, so that your chomp takes you back and you then have a voluntary movement in any direction after that. So you kind of swap up the mobility order, and that's something that can confuse people that may not be used to Orphea all too much. Abathur teams can do a lot of 4-man pushes because Abathur picks up the pieces, the XP in various lanes. Even now, the hard fruit of labor, no, the hard work, the fruit of the labors for Chili Mountain is being taken away from mid fort. You can see the health on that fort getting healthier and healthier as this mule is just taking it from 50% life back to full. How frustrating for Chili, but they gotta put that behind themselves and focus on this here temple and just do a good team fight. Even now, D.Va is coming in for the 5-on-5. We're gonna get a copy that's double Orphea most likely.
Most likely, if it's utilized, we're waiting to see how this fight does break out. Red Robot and crew are just going to posture, position, and wait for the advance of Chili Mountain. Nazma steps in. There's going to be a lot of damage onto him. He gets polymorph micro-missiled. D.Va dumps damage into Nazmus, but the shots are still raining out as Red Robot's on the point. Cattle says that's not going to happen, and he will stop the channel. If basically there's two opposing players on a point, it shoots nowhere. It's not like well, Sky Foundry where you still get charged up until the contested 99%. So Red Robot re-engaging onto this bottom lane point. Shots working for the side of Chili Mountain, but with that mule only having a 20-second cooldown, technically, it's 60 seconds, but it's 40 seconds of active time. You really can just constantly heal up these structures for, I think, like 3,600 HP. The copy comes out. There's a Crushing Jaws underneath. Oh my god, the read from the Crushing Jaws, but Azurite gets the phase shift in time. Ball Lightning comes out. The clone goes down. Madara very low. Micro missiles being thrown into Madara's face, but this is Cattle. And also, Burgle getting very low. D.Va mech is lost. D.Va, Pilot, getting a big shot. She is dead to the Abathur. And this is a kill over to the side of Oxygen, into the mech, and into the D.Va Pilot.
Most of the shots went for Chili Mountain, though. They were able to, if nothing else, do that. But their solo laner died. That means other lanes could be in trouble. They need to get a kill. Red Robot trying to get away with his hardened carapace shed exoskeleton. They make their getaway. Mule is starting to heal bottom fort. This must be so frustrating. Draws the blood from under your fingernails as Chili Mountain watches bottom fort get healed back to full. Even as Nazmas on the Haka burrows top and gets the rest of the top fort. This is Abathur being played to perfection. This is a half-boiled egg. This is a pancake with maple syrup. Just wonderful when you see it. Oxygen is playing it to a T. And I'm just reminded of we wanting to jump into Oxygen comps at some point. Maybe leading into the next fight. I'd love to see the Orphea side of this battle.
I would agree with you, but what I don't agree with is putting maple syrup on my soft-boiled eggs. That one's a weird one. Maybe it's a
no on pancakes.
Oh, pancakes. Okay. I thought it was maybe like a Dutch thing or something.
But it could be. Now that I think of it.
You know what, Grubby? That's some scientific research for you to do, and you'll have to report back to us on that one. Is there's a burrow charge from this Anubarak, and oh my god, somehow, some way,
great ice wall.
Azurite's living. Maka got hit with the web with the cocoon, and disengages clear. Yeah, really good ice wall from Cattle.
Yeah, it was just like he's freezing out the entire team. I mean, phase shift was coming through, which is cool, but I still think there was a follow-up kill there. That's kind of a death trap place. Kind of good for Chili Mountain that wall is finally dead. They can make their getaway, but fantastic ice wall by Cattle. Shown prowess on Diablo, now on May as well. Finally, that mid fort going down in favor of Chili Mountain. They managed to finish that off. Structurally, they're really in a pretty okay situation.
Sylvanas is going to push up top lane to try and empower that. I'm looking really quickly. Does she have... No, she is not a Banshee Queen. That's what I was wondering, if she had the amplification for the camp pushing through. So this is looking like a double fort phase for the side of Chili Mountain. The mid lane, it won't get bottom fort, but it will put it very, very, very low. Oh my god, probably around like 20%. A little bit less than that. But Dahaka clears out top lane, and maybe we see a push. Yes, yeah. Make and crew want to lock down this tower and burn it down. 10 seconds on Black Arrows from Sylvanas. Here's the mule.
18.6%.
Thank you.
I just did the math.
Thank you.
18.6%, and it's getting healed back up. You hate to see it. You hate to see that math, as Chili Mountain is unable to actually get that kill on the fort. And we have an XP lead for Oxygen as well. This is just a buffer fort. It's just something standing sentinel in the way of their keeps becoming the next target. And Chili Mountain, okay, what do? You've got D.Va soaking mid, top lane. A lot of waves actually being pulled up by Abathur, but it's the muled fort that draws the ire of Chili Mountain. They Black Arrow a little bit, but that's an 10-second duration. And it's being countered once again by Oxygen. This is Oxygen at their best. Oxygen are a fantastic defensive team. And the fact that they love Johanna more than any other team is just proof of that, because she's a defensive tank. They ran it last week, the new Johanna with Falling Sword. We may see it today as well.
Innovators, like we were talking about with Wildheart, but yeah, the Falling Sword does have a new functionality. Not only does it have the Falling Sword value of the stun and everything, but you also cleanse friendly members who are underneath that Falling Sword circle, which we saw utilized very well to be able to cleanse out any sort of sticky situations that I think Oxygen got into. But there was a Haunting Wave that checked boss, and Nubarak got slapped a couple times. Double siege camp from the side of Oxygen as a double temple phase arrives. Is this a good time to jump into comms? I feel like we're gonna end up just seeing a split. All right, you know what? We'll go.
It's okay. Let's just listen to the split.
All right, into the Oxygen comms we go.
Far. It's far.
I got the slow. Okay, yeah, it is far.
That's a miss.
Let Abba they pushed up and I'll get the.
D.Va's just on the top.
camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
D.Va's just on the
You
top
can
right
clear
now.
mid.
Yeah, let's go.
There's
We can
no way
even
they
pressure
fight
the
us here.
fort.
You go first.
There, we see
Oh.
them. It could just be May.
Just be together. Okay, come back down if they keep pushing bot.
Yep.
I'll need you.
We see May
Make
here.
your safe rotate.
We should trade mid.
Yeah.
Can repair top with Abba.
They're pretty far.
They're
We can look
split.
again.
They're split. Are you okay?
Come to me.
Careful.
Oh, dang! If I got that cocoon.
Getting shots right now, but there's no deal.
Yeah,
Mostly
we'll
just
have-
trading with
We'll
the
have
Abigail
meal
and
shots,
stuff.
so it's fine for us, and we're up so much XP.
We come heal now.
What level 20 do you guys think it is? Is it ult 20 or the other one?
I don't know.
Do the other one's better
I
without
don't
it.
know on that one.
Okay, that's what I think as well.
They're on their knights. I'll have to back.
I mean, we're up
you
a full
sooner or
level. Just
later.
wait 20. Just wait 20 right now, right?
Yeah.
If we don't show, then that's really good. They assume we're in the bus area.
Yeah, which we are. Oh,
They're
Looking.
looking
Go,
at
go,
me.
go.
yeah, I think we can go here.
I'm cocooning.
Okay.
Oh,
They're
still.
fine, they're
Bottom
fine.
Yeah,
side, bottom
no,
side.
I'm getting
Ah,
stunned
okay.
in my mind.
I'm backing out.
Alright. Yeah, we just missed. We
That's
just missed.
Yeah, I have Z. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you go deal with top.
we
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 need to
can't
make sure they don't boss though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Z. That's why I can.
Oh,
miss
okay.
the run.
Yeah.
They might try to stall you back here with a make you. No, you made it out nice.
It's a-
See me.
I might just force boss with.
They're on it, yeah, they're on it.
As always, Grubby, a perfect call to go into comms. We got a little bit of the macro
Oh,
sense.
you were right. It was a terrible time.
No.
team fight.
But we
But I
did
mean,
a little
this
bit of
guy-
engagement
this
bottom.
Yeah, that's true. We got lucky. But that's Sky Temple, right? You can't always expect a full team fight. Nice cleanse there by Banana Age on that combo. But I mean, that's the nature of the beast of Sky
Yeah.
Temple. This is, of course, the playbook for Oxygen. That's how you play this with the Haka, with Abathur. I'm surprised they actually took an opportunity to fight at all in Oxygen, but it was good. They got out and they accepted. They missed the immediate kill conversion of the fight. This is smart by Chili Mountain to force the boss, I think, but it's again a really good defense by Oxygen. I wonder how this is going to turn out. I can't wait to see it.
Clone is up in 7 seconds. Bosch got fully leashed. There's 2 leash phases, and that was the second one. First one goes slowly, or excuse me, third one. Sorry about that. Which then the third one is basically just insta health bar. Just
That's the order,
regeneration.
right? First is slow,
Yep.
second is fast, third is boom, full reset. Healing.
What? Oh, was that? Oh, that was tongue drag.
Drag tongue. Yeah, he used isolation on D.Va when boss was 10%.
Good call onto that. So because D.Va then can't use Mecha Explosion or Defense Matrix or Micro Missile. So like the play from that one. Still peeking on bottom lane. Red Robot, they're looking for this boss as top lane is kind of showing with the D.Va on point. Now this Temple will get the top lane keep regardless of Mule. I don't think Mule can heal back up that quickly.
Yeah, it's almost like you can mule top and it's gonna delay, but it's gonna still kill the keep, and then mid will get attacked. You might as well just save mule for mid and save the shots that are coming in there. I think that's how you use it. I'm just looking at when he has it available. He actually used it, what, 20 seconds ago. Where's mule? Did he scout with it?
It was used actually in top lane. It was on top lane keep. Oh my god!
Oh, what? Wait, what happened? They stole Bruiser? Sorry, I was looking at Mule again. Damn it, I'm obsessed with Mule. It's a problem, I admit. If there's a Mule, I can't stop looking at it and feeding to try and kill the Mule. That's just me. I mean, we all have our weaknesses, but what happened?
I literally saw Brightwing on the point, and I was like, was there a tongue drag that pulled her in and there was enough damage? I kind of missed it myself. I was looking around I was looking at some of the level 20s that were coming in, actually, because we had 20 talents here achieved by Oxygen, who went for the Trader King, when I was like, oh, very cool. And then we have the Hive Mind as well. So I was looking at 20 talents, and all of a sudden I look over and I was like, why is Brightwing in a very bad spot?
every time I look at Mule, Brightwing dies. Like,
stop looking at Mule, Grubby. Stop looking at you're my channel points. I mean, I don't bet on these games. But
okay, I'm looking at it now on the replay. There was a okay, so it was just they were just taking the Bruiser camp, Chili Mountain, because they felt they had that time with the bots being taken and stuff, and they just didn't get out on time despite the ice wall. Now level 20 has been reached by Chili Mountain. There are 2 keeps versus 2, so altogether very respectable actually. We don't really see Abba's Mule having done all too much for having a structural lead for Oxygen, so it's really going to come down to the team fight. Even the split temple situation is not lethal for Chili Mountain, so I'm impressed with how they've done so far, despite being down 0-4 in takedowns.
This could be the turnaround moment for Chili Mountain as well. Either way, whichever team wins the next big team fight, that could just be GG, as there's a win condition for either side. Top lane on the side of Chili Mountain, bottom lane for Oxygen, as there's some mid poke happening right now. Red Robot looking to step in. We did mention that Hive Mind from the Abathur, so he's going to be able to have the extra symbiote on someone who's in range of the main symbiote target, or host is probably a better way to say that one. Make throwing out a little bit of damage. Red Robot eats it up with a shield. Cattle backs off with an icing, and this is a lot of just not checking each other, but Oxygen kind of asserting dominance on the map, I would say. Instead of having to back around and push things, push out waves, Oxygen is like, hey, we can live in mid for free and we're not losing anything, because Abathur's managing the lanes, no objective phase is threatening us, and there's no camps to grab, so why not sit here, try and poke at Chili Mountain and force an error from Chili Mountain side? None to be had, and we'll have a double objective phase available now.
It also feels like the zone control on the chessboard, the middle 4 spaces that exert influence on everything else. By placing themselves there, they create this no-go zone on the map control personified, which gave Oxygen the siege camp, which had to be dealt with, the priority position on the temple. But now the fight is breaking out in all earnest, and once again it's Brightwing that dies first.
Did you look at Mule?
Brightwing goes down. I was not looking at Mule even, but Banana falls. I mean, great targeting priority by Oxygen. She was isolated. Of course, level 20 Contagion can be absolutely ruthless against anyone. You exert pressure on someone, force the Brightwing heal with either Blink Heal or Phase Shift, and then Contagion hits everyone, including Brightwing, and she's just a fish in the fish out of the water then. Great kill by Oxygen, 5-0 now. That means they get all the temple shots, but they actually want to get more kills first.
The other thing, too, to consider is the Primal Swarm at level 13 for the Dahaka. As he came in with the Contagion, he also had that armor reduction from his Dark Swarm level 13. It's just really, really well played. I was actually watching Nasmus to see, I was like, is he going to burrow in? Is he going to stay top and split the objective? Really good burrow, really good read from Nasmus on this Dahaka, playing a phenomenal game for the friendly team. And I also got to say, Draded's Abathur is just on point, soaking up wherever necessary, keeping these lanes pushed out and keeping the experience experience bolstered in favor for Oxygen. And Oxygen, they've had some really good Abathur plays in the previous season, and this season I think Drated's Abathur is really, really, really good coming against almost every rival I think they've played it, but a little bit of a back and forth right now. Brightwing's back into this Grubby.
Contagion! Oh, nice phase out by Brightwing actually to save himself. He's trying to save Mei as well, but that will not be possible. He tried everything he could, going in with the critical miss, trying to give the spell armor as well. But it is not enough. Nazmaz and friends are getting the kills here. There's Azerite living on the front line. 2 members dead. We've got Oxygen in hot pursuit. There is a counter kill on Stukov. Great job there by Chili Mountain. But this looks like the 11th hour, the beginning of the end.
It's the beginning of the end for the members of Chili Mountain. As I was waiting, I was like, why are we not running core? Oh, yes, because Stukov is dead. Because Stukov is obviously dead. But seems like, yeah, they'll get a few shots out from the towers. They're going to burrow. Okay, I was like, are you really going to go for keep and top? Dahaka does confirm mid lane. Oh, the tornadoes. Oh, you can actually apparently burrow underneath them. That makes complete sense. Anyways, core is going to be assailed by the side of Oxygen. Burgold playing around this keep, gets the triple pew 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 out. Red Robot turns around and says, okay, I'm done with you. Orphea finds the last hit. And hey, Madara coming out on top with this Orphea. It is looking like game number 2. Sky Temple is going to go over to the side of Oxygen, who have shut down the win record of Chili Mountain on this map, making Chili Mountain take their first loss in HeroesCCL on Sky Temple, and that is going to be it. Game number 2 over to the side of Oxygen. GG. Well played, Grubby.
Thank you. You too, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely bang up job there. Absolute banger of a game. 10-1. And take that. I mean, we got 2 Brightwing kills. Not gonna lie there. We were looking at the Brightwing. We were looking at the Mule, the level 20 talent, so you're welcome. But this was Orphea in all her glory. Any backbiters in chat? This was a backbiter build, fully on the Chomp talents. Madara with 68,088, a very auspicious number in the Chinese language. Orphea did great here, so did Oxygen. They played their draft to perfection on Sky Temple. We now have 2 juxtaposed styles here against each other. Oxygen's defense and stalling and macro is coming back into full focus. And this is not going to be a 3-0 wipeout for Chili Mountain.
No 3-0 in the second best of 5 of the day. Crow and my friend, are you happy to hear that they're not speedrunning you out of day number 2?
Yeah, it feels good to not speed run out of at least one day. We're gonna be having a bit of a closer series here. And that was a fantastic game by Oxygen. It was a very slow game where both teams had a different win condition, right? Chili Mountain, I think, wanted to get a bit more an advantage early, which they didn't. And because of that, the Mule value was absolutely insane. I'd be curious to go back and look actually like how much Mule healed throughout the whole game, because it was an absolute insane amount. Usually, teams are going to be able to push into the structures, the forts earlier on, and kill the Mule, or if not, kill the fort. But it's just a fantastic defense. I think you both were highlighting that in game as well. Oxygen is such a good defensive team, and they play that style really, really well. Nazmus, though, absolute MVP of that game, hands down. Nazmus multiple times found great angles for a contagion flank, silencing and isolating multiple members, and they're able to get impactful teamfight kills because of that. It was digging to the Bruiser camp where the Brightwing died when you were looking at the Mule. That was a triple contagion by Nazmus with the flank. The team rotated over, it hit Brightwing over the wall, and next 2 team fights, this very similar thing happened. So Nazmus, crucial member, fantastic hockey player, and a big reason why that game was an Oxygen victory.
I'd agree with you, Crowan. Nazmus, actually, I'm still looking at the stats, had a 10 assists in the 10 kills, so 100% kill participation. That one always either setting stuff up or being the critical factor to allow Madara to get that last hit. Even Abathur stealing a couple kills away, as he had kill participation as well. He just put a hat on someone. But anyways, this is going to be a very fun series here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a short little break and let these players stretch their legs. Maybe Chili Mountain goes for another swim. We'll have to find out. out. But in that break, I encourage you to hit !awards. We are doing an awards show later in July, and hit !awards to get your voting in. The voting doesn't require you to have to enter in any information. It's literally just go through and select the things that you like in each category. And if you're unsure, there's examples. For example, if you want to vote for Lauber, who sang Granite Gaming to their loss on Sky Temple, you can actually check out that clip in the voting and everything. But as I said, !awards will get you over there, and really quick as well, !prize pool will get you over to the Matcherino page if you'd like to donate towards HeroesCCL. We very much do appreciate it. We've broken $15,000. It's because of your support, and we very do much appreciate that. We'll be back in just a few minutes with Oxygen versus the members of Chili Mountain. Don't go anywhere. It's a banger of a 5-game series. Welcome back to HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Crowan, and because of your generosity, we've decided, we're very, very nice streamers here and casters, that I think Logan deserves a treat as well. I think it's only fair. The community has done so much for us today. Let's give back to all of you. So right now, we're going to get into that immediately. Let's get a treat over to the wonderful, amazing Logan, and I believe Grubby has that ready to go for us, and
yes.
I'm ready to see Logan's face. I'm just excited because he's so adorable.
Because we less than 3 you, Logan will get less than 3 treats too.
That was so good, Grubby. That was so... Ooh, look at him, so regal. Just waiting patiently. He's such a good boy.
Absolutely beautiful.
Just...
Wow, stoic too.
Wow, so they're he's got to focus in on Grubby as Grubby leaves the treats on the ground. Look at that.
Ooh.
Look at that command. Oh my god, you adorable puppy. Thank you all in chat for supporting HeroesCCL. Oh, he's trying to find the other one. It's right there. It's Logan. To the left, Logan. No, keep
Other way.
Wait,
Oh,
he's got it.
Closer.
Yay! 10 out of 10, Logan. Good job. Thank you, Grubby, and thank you, Logan, and thank you all at home for supporting HeroesCCL. Thank you to Texas CPA once again for putting that challenge to the community to hit $14,500, and then he donated another $500, pushing us into $15,000, and now we're here, actually a little higher, $15,300 because of your support. Thank you for checking out the prize pool with !prize pool and supporting HeroesCCL. We've talked about dog treats once again. We've talked about the prize pool. Let's talk about where we're going to for map number 3 in our final best of 5 of the weekend. Once again, this is the ladder playoff bracket, meaning if you lose in this series, you're done. That is your CCL season. You take 5th place and you get to watch the double elimination bracket in a couple weeks. But let's talk about this game. We're going to Infernal Shrines, chosen by Oxygen, as they were Chili Mountain opted for first pick priority. And looking at some stats really quickly, this is a pretty good map for the members of Chili Mountain. On the side of Oxygen Esports, a fairly good map as well. Good records on both sides, 4-3 from Oxygen. And I believe there was an Infernal Shrines game earlier, which would put Chili Mountain at 5-2 on the map. So good stats for both these teams, a comfortable map for both of them. I do want to bring up one thing, Crowan, and of course, it's about the fact that Oxygen took a game against Simplicity on Infernal Shrines with a Cho'Gall. Just saying. The number 1 team in CCL fell to a Cho'Gall on this map. Is it time for Oxygen to punch again with this giant lad? We'll have to find out. We're here, ready to go into the draft.
Maybe. We've seen some wild stuff on this map, of course. The Cho'Gall before. We saw Alex Straza composition earlier, which we don't usually see. There's also the potential for a lot of other things as well. I think that with the Junkrat priority that we've seen, especially in the ban phase of these two teams, if that slips through, it's a fantastic Junkrat map. Also a fantastic Hogger map, so Chili Mountain just wants to get that one out of there to begin with. And Oxygen, once again, I'm loving the response to the Diablo ban. They've shown that it works out in the last game on Sky Temple, and I think they're pretty confident that's going to be the correct draft philosophy moving forward. First big potential though, what's going to be left open? Is it going to be some early Brightwing locks in once again? Because that's been working out decently, but maybe a bit too aggressive of one.
I can see the in-game draft chat, and it just they said this in the last game, and they said it in this game immediately when they banned out the Diablo. Get respected. So Oxygen literally even respect banning and also making sure Cattle knows he's respected on that hero. Because game 1, it was really difficult to kind of get past Cattle on this Diablo. And we have a Falstad ban as well going into Infernal Shrines, but there's the Junkrat grabbed by the side of Chili Mountain, even though this is Oxygen who actually has the bigger repertoire on the hero. I like the plays from both sides, but more priority onto a Nubrak, Grubby.
Just a lot of Anubrak coming in, and I think Oxygen, as Crowan correctly pointed out, have found that Kato is not quite as scary on Mei as he is on Diablo, and even the way that it cohesively works as a team together. Without Diablo, I don't think Brightwing is as important either. Love to see Chili Mountain running a different healer here, could even be Lucio, but we are going to finally be seeing Stitches. Wildheart didn't allow any Stitches because they banned it out every time. Granite Gaming is already gone, but Stitches is still going to get represented by Chili Mountain. Logan is walking over the camera.
we gotta manage some things right now, so Grubby's chair will take over for a minute. But no, sorry, please continue.
Yeah, Stitches coming in, and Stitches Junkrat is a chef's kiss combination. You can hook into traps. It will just remain to be seen who's going to be the damage and the support follow-up. I think it could be an Uther. Banana H loves it, and then we just need one damage dealer for Make. And then you've got it. You've got a Stitches draft. How does Oxygen counter this?
That's a Greymane Sonya. I like it a lot. Crow, and I see you thinking here, and I can see everything kind of getting pieced together. What's it looking like for you?
I was actually surprised by Oxygen banning Tychus. I thought that would have been a fantastic pickup for them, actually. Not only is it really good for just Infernal Shrine's objective control, but it's great at taking out these tankier heroes such as Stitches and Urel as well. I think it's fine to land on a Greymane Sonya that's still great Shrine control and good, front-to-back pressure with a Cursed Bullet. With your Cassia, rounding out the draft for Chili Mountain now. I love that they're not over-prioritizing Brightwing. I think the Junkrat first pick is really good for them, and also a denial for what Oxygen is looking to do. And we get to see Cattle on something other than Diablo or Mei, which is a refreshing it's just a refreshing thing to see, and I think that paired with the Junkrat as well is a great pairing. Uther as well to support it. If the fights are really sustained and go super long, Oxygen will be able to win out on that front, but Chili Mountain are going to have very, very quick damage windows where they get hooks, maybe some gorges, and are able to win because of that. But Orphea, once again from Madara, this time not supported by an Abathur, but that is a lot of damage coming out of this Oxygen team.
It's a lot of damage. It's really, it is a little scary. Which way would you lean on this, Crowan? Who's kind of your winner after game number 3, Infernal Shrines?
I think that this is one of the closer drafts that we've seen. Actually, throughout the whole weekend, I actually love both drafts here. I'm going to give a slight advantage over to Oxygen because I think the specific denial of Cattle on Diablo and say Make off of Falstad is seemingly working very, very well against them. And it's putting Banana Hands on a Solo Sport Uther with a draft that I think is just going to be too much damage to be able to get through in the later stages of the game. So I tentatively will give the advantage to Oxygen for this one.
Alrighty, well thank you so much, Crowan, for breaking that down. And we'll see you after game number 3, Infernal Shrines. We got Oxygen on the left-hand side, Nasmus on the Sonya, Red Robot playing the Anubrak, Hebi on the Stukov, Draded on the Greymane, Madara on the Orphea. Over in the red, we're looking at Chili Mountain. Azurite on the Cassia, Banana on the Uther, Make on the Junkrat, Burgult on the Urel, and Cattle on the Stitches. There's a few little stats that I did have in all of this as well, and the one thing that kind of jumps out to me is Oxygen's 0-5 on Sonya. They've never won a Sonya game.
What?
And like, part of me is like, is that something to consider? Does that matter? So I'm going to lean into Chili Mountain. I actually really also like the hook stun burst composition from the side of Chili Mountain. I really like everything they've drafted here, but I do agree with Crowan. It's a very, very close draft. It's just, I think I'm leaning Chili Mountain. What do you think here, Grubby?
I'm leaning Chili Mountain big time.
Oh, wait, mid, there was a hook. Oh, okay. No, Drade's fine.
Oxygen has insane engage, a huge amount of damage, with stuns into silence. But I think Uther is really good at that. I would love to see Nazmus not go for leap. I don't think this is a leap game. Of course, if you flank, you can stop a Riptire channel. And you can also leap onto Cassia to remove her armor, but I think Uther is partial to that. As Banana H tries to move into the Anubrak. You know, Burgolt is so far, he can actually stop Red Robot from getting out, and he kind of tries that, but the good damage dissuasion from Madara as well. Just good mastery on that hero. Red Robot gets a lucky escape with a very cool engage by Chili Mountain. Love Burgolt going that deep, knowing hey, I'm just going to stop the burrow charge escape there. I think Chili Mountain has quite a bit of a better draft. It all comes down to whether hooks will hit or not. But throughout the course of a game, you've got plenty of chances. What Oxygen does have is macro power. Give them even a second in an unattended lane, and heroes like Anubarak, Sonya, or Greymane will destroy any structure standing there. So Chili Mountain will be heavily tested in their rotations, Bahamut.
That's a very good point, actually. I didn't even consider the raw siege potential just of these heroes, even without a minion wave, though. Red Robot and crew want to come down here. There's going to be a hook onto Madara. They're going to be stepping in with the big burrow charge from Anubarak, but they're getting chunked on the side of Chili Mountain. Uther goes down. Azurite getting some ghost heals from Uther, and that armor is going to benefit. Azurite turns around with Yrel jumping in, but the Anubarak Impale buys a little bit of time. Hook is available. Hook is available. Any hookers? No hooking from Cattle. It's not going to connect, and that'll be Oxygen sneaking first blood away.
I think Red Robot, I mean, he just smurfed that fight. He gets a 4-person burrow charge into a 4-person Impale. He then gets out from the counter engage. Impale interrupting Yrel's second Avenging Wrath jump, and then gets out with health in the low triple digit. That's just
well played.
Sick. Really sick. Great play.
And looking at just some of the, not quests and talents, well, we do have the Wave of Light for the Uther as well as Thunderstroke for the Cassia. But one thing just to note, Slam build for the Sonya, and once again, the Hardened Carapace build for Red Robot, which is working out really well for him. Burrow charge, dive onto Burgolt in top lane. It is Yrel with Dauntless, a little difficult to deal with or kill. Nazmus being pushed around in this mid lane as they sidestep the hook from Cattle.
From Cattle. Just thinking here for a sec.
Sure.
Is it going to be Bile or Gorge?
I like Bile for the objective fight.
So too.
Like Gorge is cool, but I feel like there's a lot of just follow-up. Like Anubarak can slow you down, Sonya maybe leaps. You have a Lurking Arm, Virulent Reaction from Heavy, so I just think there's too many ways to maybe slow down the steal, if you will. But 7 Talent Tier is here first for the side of Oxygen. They're controlling this Shrine, Grubby. If it's possible, maybe they'll be able to get it, but now charge. Madara takes a lot of damage. He's trying to auto-attack his way. He's healing up. Chomp, Cassia, Fend. That's Orphea dead.
Oh, they finally get him. He gets chomped back. I actually thought the Madman was going to do it. Now Nazmas is next. He gets taken out. Burgolt, 400 health, takes a heal from Uther. It's 3 skeletons left for Oxygen. They're starting to turn on the pain train. They do get the objective. Heavy actually lands a weighted pustule on Azurite. There's the Impale. Great accuracy by the members of Oxygen. They take a 3 versus 5 and they turn it into something with a pot at the end of this rainbow. They get the Punisher and a very important follow-up conversion kill. Now can actually get a wall and then some. Allows Madara to go top, Sonya to go bot. Oxygen is back in control. For a moment there, it looked like Chili Mountain would come out ahead.
I do want to point out a very, very big, I guess, support play technically from Cattle. He hooked onto the Greymane towards the end of that engagement to pull Greymane away from the 3 members that were so very low. While we did still see 1 kill onto, I honestly don't remember, I think it might have been Cassia. Still, there was still 1 kill that was had. It could have been way worse, because if Greymane got a Dark Flight, he could have razor swiped through the entire enemy team, finding a few more kills. So a very good hook from Cattle as he's on point, finding the hook onto Red Robot, concussion mine underneath. The big as traps will focus onto the enemy members, no longer onto minions, so you can't bait it into the wave and then it just chomps onto a minion. You can walk past it. You also have that Chattering Teeth for zoning. It plays well into the hook, so hook doesn't need to be like ultra accurate on top of the Chattering Teeth. The hook comes through, Uther gets the stun, the Chattering Teeth come in, there's your follow-up CC.
Exactly.
It's great play back and forth right now with 50 stacks on the Wave of Light at level 1 out of the 60 necessary and 20 stacks on Thunderstroke. Now, Madara, are you A-okay in bottom? Hook is available from Stitches if needed. It's going to be missed. Concussion Mine, same thing.
Are you okay? Are you okay, Madara? And he is.
I got
No
it.
problemo. Let's look at
I love-
ults. It's gonna be Gorge. It's gonna be Gorge.
Ooh, Crushing Jaws, goodbye. Okay, we've talked a lot about how to kill, not Orphea, how to kill a Yrel. That is how you kill a Yrel. We said it a lot of times. You need a lot of forms of CC, and Crushing Jaws was used. It's not the longest cooldown in the world, 70 seconds, but still it's up there. Big thing to note, Grubby, we're actually going to be seeing Ravenous Hunger at level 7. We didn't talk about this at all. Scaling on Madara's Chomp.
Okay, this scales up to nearly 100,000. Minions that die within X seconds of being hit by Chomp permanently increase its damage and heal Orphea for 92. Heroes that die increase its damage. Okay, and heals Orphea for 25% of her max health. So without Abathur's help, he's choosing to have a little bit of extra minion and hero kills sustain. Interesting adaptation there by Madara. Now let's talk about Gorge. You can just cocoon the Gorge and he will spit it out. True, Twitch chat, this is true, but there's Banana Age with Hand of Protection Cleanse and Divine Shield, and that is a surefire way to get Stitches to take his meal and to actually keep it all inside.
That was literally, it was a Towers of Doom Gorge composition. It was a support play last weekend, yeah.
Oh yeah!
It was it was
not Sky Temple, it was Towers of Doom.
Yeah, thank you. Towers of Doom. And it's the exact same setup with the Uther. I'm liking this a lot. For anyone that's also wondering, the bonus damage of Ravenous Hunger from level 7 is currently 96. Baseline Chomp does 489 damage. Gorge onto the Sonya. Can she get out? Wrath Berserker is going to be popped. I think you hold the Wrath
That's why
Berserker.
they're 0-5 with Sonya. Trying 1v5. No, he got Gort. No, no he got Gort. It is Wrath, which I think is correct.
Yeah.
But we don't really see how that started, but now it's a 5v4. Can Oxygen Dane to fight this in a 4v5?
Hook is up in 2 seconds. Gorge in 35. Riptire from Junkrat. Ball Lightning from Cassia. There's the hook. Not going to be able to connect onto anyone. Full cooldown for Cattle. Still 10 seconds to go onto that, as there is a camp pushing in favor for the side of Chili Mountain through the top lane, while Yrel and Junkrat burn down the skeletal defenders for Chili Mountain. Another hook. Going to get sidestepped by Red Robot.
29, 30 skeletons already for Chili Mountain. It's 3 takedowns apiece. Ford's looking real close at the moment. Cattle actually with a big flank. I don't think people get away from... Wait.
But
why doesn't he just walk up and eat someone?
why?
You could, like, he had the flank and Orphea was there. You could just walk up. He had Gorge. Just eat her. You don't need to do it from a hook. Lol.
Maybe there was the expected burrow charge from a Nubrak to slow down the Gorge. I'm not 100% sure myself. Yeah, just to theorize for a second or two. Yeah, it was just like, I wonder why not Cattle, but Gorge onto this. Okay.
Trap.
Okay. All right. I
Okay.
guess I was like, okay, where's the burrow charge? That's what I was waiting for, but not gonna be had.
got-
Yeah, not when you're steel trapped and everything and locked into place. You also have that.
Oh, just...
Yeah.
You need to hold your hook for a sec. Sorry. Just...
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but into the steel trap he went. No burrow charge possible.
And Burgolt is just going to push out bottom lane, heal up a little bit. Punisher in top lane gets the fort. I think it gets keep front gate, but there's a quick rotation to bottom as Chili Mountain. You had mentioned it earlier. They're going to be tested on their rotations. They're going to be tested on their macro in this game, and it is kind of it's they're acing. They're acing the quiz. God, these hooks from Cattle, they're scary.
Yeah, just trying to see if there's some victims there that would walk into his hook trap. Oxygen. They've already had several Gorge deaths against them. There is no cleanse. They need to be together in order to survive a Gorge. It's been pretty much on the fringes of battle that Gorge has been getting these results. While a Punisher is pushing, while someone is solo laning. So Oxygen needs to stick together. And you know, Sonya doesn't have what Nasmas likes to play, usually. The Urel or the Diva that can get away from anything. And that's kind of like just a stylistic thing, I guess. Even the Nubrak isn't safe.
Nubrak is always the target, it feels. Riptire comes out. Ball Lightning was used as well. There's a lot of hatred for Red Robot on the Nubrak. Crushing Jaws from Orpheus slowed down the chase. Another hook goes out, but it won't connect. And the reason that hook's going out once again is you have cooldown reduction from the serrated edge that takes you down to 12 seconds if you land the hook onto an enemy member. But with the kills that are found from Chili Mountain and the pick-apart composition that they've built, they will have 16 talents here over the enemy side by about half a level, as this mid lane's going to be opened up. The reason the priority is here for mid lane, Mortar Punisher, will be announced fairly soon. Last thing I want to note really quickly, Grubby, that Ravenous Hunger, 156 bonus damage, baseline 550, so you're dealing 706 damage for a chomp.
Nice. That really popped. And so will Madara, if he ever gets a chance to have a 5-on-5, because everyone is falling around him. Basically, it's Sonya and Anubrak getting abused by the Stitches Junkrat combination here. This is pretty much as lopsided as you would expect, as I expected at least at the start. The Uther Stitches is a tried and true ancient combo. But Junkrat's traps is making it even harder for someone like Anubrak that you think is a counter to Stitches. People pick Anubrak into Stitches all the time. This time it was the other way around. The rule break here is that trap. The trap prevents Anubrak from getting out.
Can you get to the trap in time? He actually spits him onto the chat. Well, the Chattering Teeth still got that value. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Jesus.
You don't have to be on to the point immediately. And Red Robot isn't even able to play the game right now. That's the unfortunate thing. Like, literally can't even tank at all. I'm trying to.
You like playing the game?
No.
You can't.
I'm trying to find there's a stat here. I'm trying to find it really quickly, Grubby, for like time CC. There it is. 204 seconds of time CC'd from just the Stitches.
What?
He's CC'd people for 200 and some seconds. There's a lot of stats in this, and I was just curious. Yeah,
as well,
exactly.
Yeah, like, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh my God, banana!
There. Banana H.
Spin. Is there a hook? Is there? Oh, the hook! It is gonna be there.
God.
And Junkrat's working on the objective, so this is kind of an okay fight for Oxygen, but now Urel comes in, flailing swipes from Heavy, as he has decided the fight needs to end. Unfortunately, Burgolt has decided the fight is not going to end. Righteous hammers onto Nasmus. He tries to turn things around, but gets shut down. Cocoon onto this Stitches, but there's an Ardent Defender, a Ball Lightning coming out from Azurite. Heavy getting slowed by the 16 talent tier slow from Stitches on that Pulverize. It also reduces armor as well. Banana throws a heal out. Big burrow charge, a helping hand comes out. Riptire from the Junkrat. Uther goes down. Riptire, maybe. Oh my God, Heavy's at like 50 HP. There was a Gorge onto Greymane. Chomp onto Azurite as he just wants to insta-mount, find the kill onto Heavy. There's just so much happening here as the Cassia goes down. It's 2-for-1 in favor for Oxygen, technically. I say that.
Meanwhile, though.
Exactly. Punisher through mid. And there's a camp through top lane as well. How much value is that camp getting? Because I think it just got the keep front gate for free.
I do believe so. Of course, that's really good value. It's getting some keep damage as well. Altogether, though, Chili Mountain was really limit testing there in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Really just Praga to get some top and mid value as long as they make the fight last. I don't think they got quite as much as they should like, as both keeps are still 95% health.
I'm not worried, but I'm wondering is probably a better way to put it. If was that too long of an engagement bottom lane to let Oxygen start building back if that hook connected, I would have been like MyIntyre sentence is moot. But is this the opportunity for Oxygen to start building back a fight against Chili Mountain, or will Chili Mountain hit 20 and just start running face first into Oxygen?
Well, I think you do want to pressure. Yeah, I think you want that keep with your level 20. You've got plenty of chances. I mean, this is risky. I think Hook can catch up to Burrow Charge, but Red Robot is holding his finger over the E button. But yeah, you want to pressure for sure. Actually, a bit of a pity that Oxygen didn't clear the Khasra and Baylor camp in that small little window that they may think they have had.
This is just, it's scary for the side of Oxygens. There's kind of a free push through bottom lane. Sonya is soaking out through top to try and get that 20 talent here, and she is showing. So Chili Mountain know that they have this push. I think Greymane showed in mid for a second as well. And since this 20's here with Master Hooker, you have a potential of what is it, like 8-second cooldown for your hook? If you land the hook with the level 7 and the Master Hooker?
16 minus 4 minus 4.
Yeah, it's 8 seconds. Okay, 8 seconds. Thank you. Whew.
No.
I had to ask you to do the caster math for me. I did do a little bit of a rough math, and Orpheus Chomp is hitting just under 1,000 damage. Gorge.
Oh.
Gorge. There's the steel trap.
Any
But is it too
oh,
far
no,
away?
I don't have cleanse. Oh, he did manage to turn on Trader King this time. That actually is the thing that survives him this fight. And there's a cocoon on Cassia, but Sonya is going keep. He's killing Fountain right now. So this is a keep defense with Nazmez finally doing that thing that we said that Oxygen could do, which is to send Greymane or Sonya to do the side lane pressure. Now, there's a catapult. It is hitting for 285, 570 into structures. This keep is down to 8,000 life. It would need another 10 shots, at least.
And those 10 shots won't connect. Only a couple more do come through. Bottom lane Punisher, I was about to say, should be announced in a second here, and there it is. As mentioned before, going to be an Arcane Punisher. Lone Steel Trap in bottom lane, just getting a little bit of vision, as both of the Fallen Shamans for top lane will be grabbed. We may check on those a little bit later, but this Grubby could be the game-winning fight. Do you want to jump into some comms for this objective?
Yes.
Whose?
Let's flip a coin.
Okay.
No time. Okay, let's go Chili.
In we go.
I do percent.
It's not it. Yeah.
I can't.
It's not. Shit. Yeah, slow fight. Yeah. I'm standing in Riptide. Yeah.
I have hook.
Yeah. I'm doing shrine.
I got slowed.
You can go. I think we want to keep her as well, right?
Maybe I think you do better though on the keep.
Yeah, I wanna. I think. Yeah, let's do this right away, and then we push.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
Too dead, they can't.
So slow. Oh, we won top as well. Nice.
RNG.
No, we planned.
40 seconds. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess we are pushing.
We heard a really cool thing at the end right there, and it was something I had mentioned because there was 2 Fallen Shaman camps in the top lane. I was like, we'll check on see which one's winning, and you even heard RNG. That's their Fallen Shaman camp on the side of Chili Mountain winning. But look at this, Madara and Heavy, are they trying to go core with just the 2 of them? There's no way. Greymane's rotating through the lane.
Gonna die, no?
I mean, yeah, especially with Burgold and Banana here, but now we have a Punisher through bottom and Impaler camp as well. I think the chasing through top lane is to mostly just stop backs of Heavy.
Yeah, for sure. And he's gonna try to what? I don't think he can even flailing swipe and then get back. Oh, 5 head.
Little turnaround right there. The Punisher's baited towards mid lane keep. Wrath Berserker popped by the Sonya as we are looking at this bottom lane engagement. Draded looking to try and step in, but he's already 50% and chunked. Nasmus the same. There's going to be a ball lightning from the Cassie. It's infinite as well. Madara goes down. First kill in this engagement. Cocoon on to Azerite. There will be a Gorge onto this Anubrak. He's going to get put right in front of the steel trap. Riptire comes out, but I think the flailing swipe actually forced back the Riptire. Doesn't matter because the Punisher comes through and cleans things up with the help of Azerite. Kill onto Sonya is possible here. Slam will confirm that kill. Azerite with another kill. And there's a Fend around the corner looking for Heavy. A hook onto Traded, but the game number 3 goes over to the side of Chili Mountain, shutting down Oxygen on Infernal Shrines with their hook Gorge pick composition. Beautifully played by the side of Chili Mountain, in my opinion. And I got to get Crowan's thoughts on this because there's a lot of really cool moments in that last game.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool hooks that last game for sure. That game was for Oxygen fans, that was hard to watch. It was like Red Robot getting hooked and picked like 3 times in a row. There just wasn't the opportunity for Oxygen to play the game for Shrine fights because they were just denied it with these cattle picks. Now, for Oxygen, reapproaching the ban phase, you gotta ban Diablo from cattle, but now you gotta ban Stitches, you gotta ban Fallside from Make. There's just so many things, so many threats that Chili Mountain has, and you can't deny all of them. Chili Mountain has looked so good, I think, throughout the past couple of series. They had a little bit of a slip up on Sky Temple because, I mean, it was still a close game, but you know, it was solidified by Oxygen with that great Abathur draft. Chili Mountain, man, they're really a sight to behold for today. Cattle, an absolute beast. The follow-up from the team every single time there is a Junkrat trap. There is going to be Banana always providing those clutch heals as well. I would have the, I guess, worry if Uther would be enough, but it didn't really need to be enough. It was mostly just Cattle carrying.
Cattle carried a lot of that, and I loved the hooks. They were so on point. It wasn't like we saw a 50% hook stitches. It was, I would say, above 80% with those hooks connecting onto the enemy side. And Junkrat Make with the trap build was just beautifully set up with the chattering teeth, the big as, even the gotta trap them all for more zoning potential, more chattering teeth, more lockdown, which just amplified Azerite as well as Burgold. It's such a good game so far, or such a good series so far, but right now we sit with tournament life, season life for the side of Oxygen. If they lose this next map, they are knocked out, and they are the gatekeepers for this double elimination bracket that's happening in a couple weeks. If Chili Mountain wins this next game, they will knock Oxygen out. Oxygen takes 5th in the season, and Chili Mountain advances into that double elimination bracket. Let's find out where we're going to be heading to for map number 4. We're going to see if this is a comfort. We're going to see if this is a crazy one. Oh, it's a comfort for the side of Oxygen, but it's chosen by Chili Mountain. We're heading to Towers of Doom. Chili Mountain's 1-3 on this map. Oxygen 3-0 on this map. So we'll have to see how things will shape up. But unfortunately, that Sonya, like, it wasn't a super bad Sonya, Grubby. It just felt like it didn't do the things that Sonya needs to do. She was still soaking here and there, but she got caught out so many times in that game. Anubrak actually 5 deaths, Sonya 5 deaths, but those 5 deaths on Anubrak, that was hook, gorge, steel trap for I think almost every single one of them.
I think it just doesn't fit them. Like, I think for once the stats do really tell the full story. Now 0-6 in Sonya. I think how Oxygen and American teams love to use their solo laner is to create a lot of space and to prevent whichever blow-up target and to disrupt. And Sonya is just mostly raw damage personified. Doesn't do what Blaze does with layers of protection, with the bunker, with the oil and stuff. It's just damage. And that was their entire draft last game. And I really expected Chili Mountain to do a home run there, and they did. It's just not, it was a draft difference in a big way, I feel like. Oxygen needs to get that solo lane early. It was well drafted by Chili Mountain. They want to have the Diva, the Urel, that is nigh unkillable, that just takes one worry away. And they want to have apparently Anubrak all the time, but also they need to be careful that Anubrak is apparently killable, even with full carapace builds, with the Unstoppable, with the Trader King still killable when you go into Stitch's Junkrat. This is one more difficult lesson learned here.
It's a lesson learned from the side of Oxygen and a game won by the side of Chili Mountain. Can they repeat on Towers of Doom? Does Cattle go into hook stitches once again? Or hook stitches? Does he go into gorge stitches once again? Is this going to be a Diablo? Is this going to be a May? Do we see something else from Cattle? Does he go into a Nubrak? Because we know that's in his bag of tricks, if you will, or his tank pool is probably a good way to say that one. But we're into Towers of Doom, what could be the final game of the weekend. It's a big one here. This is the time to make sure you tell everyone at home, make sure your goldfish, your grandparents, your father, your sister, everyone, they got to know about this game. They got to be watching Heroes of the Storm, HeroesCCL, because this one, I'm sure of it, it's going to be a good one, Crowan.
Oh yeah, this is shaping up to be a really good game, and I think Grubby had a very great point about that style that we just saw from Oxygen. It really wasn't fitting of their gameplay, and on a map like Towers of Doom, that's one where we can think about pulling out the Orphea again, but maybe with an Abathur, right? I think Towers of Doom is a fantastic Abathur map, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that either picked up by them in the later stage of the draft, or maybe banned by Chili Mountain if they have the correct read in that second ban phase. For now, it is actually going to be Oxygen banning out Anubrak.
Does that mean they want to first pick Stitches?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think so. Deny all the tank options. I mean, Cattle would probably just go May either way, but Junkrat being the ban there, I don't think he needed to spend a ban. I mean, I guess Anubrak is really good into Stitches, right? Because cocooning, if ever a Gorge comes out, like we saw the potential of last game. But yeah, he called it correctly. Stitches being first picked Red Robot.
You can't cocoon. Oh, please, Grubby.
They really think it's about denying now not just Diablo but also Stitches to Cattle, and then on May they're like, whatever, not as afraid. And this is the moment for Cattle to shine, to show you cannot outman me. I've got plenty of tanks left. There's the Medivh to counter the Stitches, the Yrel to be the near ungankable in the solo lane. Junkrat's already gone, so there's no Gorge trap inevitability of death of any Gorge targets. Medivh would prevent that anyway. Great response by Chili.
Wouldn't Ice Wall have the same effect as Cocoon? Wouldn't it force the draw? No, it doesn't. I'm not sure. I'm asking.
Wow, Vikings.
That's very early.
No, Ice Wall would freeze the Stitches with his stomach still intact. Just delay when he spits it out because time is frozen. Cocoon, as an isolated only on Stitches target and not a status effect in an area, would force him to disgorge.
Okay, well, there we go. So it's not going to be the Ice Wall counter, but still, as you two were both mentioning, Crowan and Grubby, it's this Medivh, it's this Yrel. This is really strong. What are you thinking, Crowan, as we're getting through these bans, or even just what's unfolding for Towers of Doom Map 4?
Yeah, what's unfolding is going to be a Lost of Vikings. Already picked super early in the draft. Of course, a response actually Mountain had to the Stitches was this Medivh style. Make sure to protect those targets, but it's even okay if Stitches doesn't get a lot of value because you have Vikings value to run around the map, generate an XP lead there, and it's matched by a Zool. Dare I say a main tank Zool from Cattle it's looking like here, because we still need a support, so it has to be. It's looking like. This draft is leaving me with some questions. It looks like Wildheart snuck their way back into another one for this, but man, I think this is the style that Oxygen is going to be more successful in leaning on with these picks like Lost Vikings, a great Stitches denial from Cattle. So I'm liking this by Oxygen for sure. And it's a big pivot what Chili Mountain's doing. I'm just excited to see how it unfolds, really.
I don't know. The Vala's okay, I guess. I kind of wish it was like a Sylvanas instead a little bit, but it is good siege potential. Even like a Greyman, I feel like is a little bit more sieging through the bottom lane, and you can kind of dive onto the Gorge target. But Vala's burst is quite strong. We talked extensively yesterday about Q build Vala and her burst ability, but here will be a Karazim.
Wow.
All right, Crowan, before we load into the game, I gotta get your thoughts. Like, who are you leaning on this one? Because I need a second for myself. I don't know.
Vala is going to die. That's what's going to happen in this game.
Oh, yeah?
Even with the Brightwing and the Zarya, I don't think it's enough. Zarya kind of the pseudo support there, buffing shielding. But as soon as a Medivh portals a Zul onto Vala and that root connects, Brightwing only has so many cleanses, right? I'm really scared for Madara on this Vala, and has big shoes to fill in being able to posture and position correctly to then be able to actually have the impact that pick wants to do. I mean, if they get a lead just through the Vikings and they have the XP talent tier lead, sure, they can run away the game with that. But if it's relatively even, and if Make on the Medivh is that great leader, which he is known to be, a big vocal voice in setting up all these plays, I'm leaning Chili Mountain on this one.
Okay, I'm with you on that as well, Crowan. Like, the Vikings are a little bit of an X factor for me. We'll see how it's played out. But I don't feel like the 4v4 goes over to Oxygen. I might be proven wrong, but I agree with you. I'm going to call for a Chili Mountain win. They'll take the series in a 3-1 fashion. Maybe. We'll have to find out, and we'll see you, Crowan, after the game. Thank you for your breakdown and analysis, as we've got Oxygen on the left-hand side, Heavy on the Brightwing, Red Robot on the Stitches, Mater on the Vala, Draded on the Zarya, and Nasmus on the Olaf, Balog, and Eric, the Lost Vikings. Over in the red, looking to knock Oxygen out of the playoffs and make their way to the double elimination bracket, Chili Mountain. One map, Towers of Doom, is the separation between that path. We've got Make on the Medivh, Azerite on the Orphea, Banana on the Karazim, Cattle playing Zool, and Burgult on the Yrel. Now, Grubby, we haven't heard from you in a little bit. What are your thoughts on the game, and who do you think? Or do you think this will be a 3-1, or do you think we continue our series here to a game 5?
You know, I'm actually feeling Oxygen here. I know it may seem a little strange. They seem to lack some crowd control, and Medivh is there to help a Gorge target escape. I think there's actually, although Zarya may seem a little wonky and weird and Vala hasn't been having the success that she is purported to have in Storm League, here's how it's gonna go. Oxygen's draft cannot even remotely do a normal team fight with Chili Mountain. They aren't traditional as the Brightwing will get there in time. Nice heal there by Heavy. Oxygen is what RTS players would call a cheese draft. You find a technical victory. It's the proverbial Dark Templar in StarCraft against no detection. And although you may try to make detection, Dark Templar now have Blink, and there's 6, and they just killed your turret, and now you cannot defend. That is how Oxygen will try to defend here. Vikings is their macro win condition and their XP soaking machine. That should give, if not in the early, in the mid to late game advantage in decision making and in experience accumulation. Decision making is important because how you prioritize your position on all the heroes determines whether you get bell tower shots, get altar shots. And I still think it's going to be Gorge. You're going to take a Gorge target, you're going to run away with it. You're going to have Medivh shield that target and put a portal next to them. And that portal will then not be able to be used for a while because of the following. First, there's a Rain of Vengeance. Then there's a Polymorph. And then there's the Expulsion Zone. If Medivh goes for